I thought I would walk you through the review and the answers to the review. So as you check your own answers, if you have a question, you can watch this video and see how I came up with the answers that are correct. Number one, you're looking at the sentences, labeling them as sentence, fragment, run-on, or comma splice. Number one, after majoring in English at the University of Southern California, well, that leaves me hanging. I don't know who did that either, missing a subject, so it is a fragment. Number two, the managing editor, an excellent journalist and former reporter, is a religious man. It's one complete thought. You do have that explanatory phrase in the middle, but it's just renaming the editor, but the whole sentence is one thought. Number three, before long, the fire died down. It's a very short sentence, but it is a complete sentence. Number four, until the orchestra plays more popular selections, I don't know what's going to happen. It leaves me hanging. That's a fragment. Number five, while I admired her greatly, I don't think she deserved the position. She was inexperienced. You heard me. I had to pause after position because that's two complete sentences joined with nothing separating them. So that is a run-on. Number six, shuffling papers is part of the job. Filing is not part of the job. Two complete sentences joined only with a comma, that is a comma splice. Number seven, as long as we continue to follow the traditional ways of thinking, well, what's going to happen as long as we do that? It is a fragment. Number eight, Angela and Sue Lynn didn't bring the poster board, so they went back to get it. Angela and Sue Lynn didn't bring the poster board. That's a sentence. They went back to get it. That's a sentence. I can't join two sentences with just a so, with just one of those fanboys. It also needs that comma, so that is a run-on. Number nine, Erica took the SAT this spring. She will take it again this fall. Again, two complete sentences with no separation. Had they just put a semicolon after spring instead of a comma, it would be a good sentence, but it's not. It's just a comma, so that's a comma splice. Number 10, Mrs. Johnson does not hire the workers, but she supervises them. Again, two complete sentences joined only with a but. That's a run-on. Number 11, the band members have practiced for 3 months and are ready for the competition. Now that looks like a run-on because I see the band members have practiced for 3 months. That's a sentence, but what's following the and, are ready for the competition, that's not a sentence. So that is a one complete sentence because it's just telling me that two things that the band members have done. It is a sentence. Number 12, the concerned but tired hikers, what did they do? It's missing a verb, so that's a fragment. Number 1 through 6, you're adding the commas or semicolons where they need to go. Number 1, George Eastman, an American industrialist, invented the Kodak, the first simple box camera. Well, we're adding an American industrialist to that sentence. We didn't have to have that. We could just say George Eastman invented the Kodak. And I'm also adding what the Kodak is, so I put a comma before renaming it. Number 2, after the test begins, you will not be allowed to talk. Again, a comma after an introductory phrase. Number 3, we have two rules. We have a date and we have an address. On Tuesday, comma, September 11th, comma, 2001, comma, a great tragedy occurred at the World Trade Center, comma, and here's my address, 501 Main, comma, New York City, comma, New York, no comma in between the state and the zip code. Number 4, we have items in a series. We have lots of commas in there. So we usually put commas between items in a series. However, if we've already got a lot of commas, we need to separate the main items with semicolons as to not confuse the reader. Last fall, my husband and I took a 7-week honeymoon, which really turned out to be more of a road trip, and visited my cousin, comma, aunt, comma, and grandmother in Oklahoma. That's the first thing we did. So all of that, if you just put a comma after Oklahoma, it would be a little bit confusing. So instead, I've got a semicolon. Drove to Cleveland, comma, Ohio, comma, to see his family and an old college roommate of his. And then here's my last thing we did. And then traveled to Florida and went to Disney World, Epcot Center, and Universal Studios. Again, after Epcot Center and after Aunt, those are optional commas. You're just going to see me do it because I've been taught that, but it's not wrong if you don't put it. You could have also put a comma after last fall. It's not required, but it kind of tells you that it's a little bit introductory stuff. So again, sometimes you don't have to have the commas there. Sometimes you can put them, and it's not wrong either. Number 5, the judge asked the jurors to look at the evidence. However, he told them not to talk to anyone outside of the courtroom about the case. 2 complete sentences. I've got to separate it, or otherwise it's a run-on. I put a semicolon there, and then I have a comma after however, because it's one of those conjunctive adverbs, like however, moreover, consequently. You put it after the semicolon. Number 6, my sister-in-law organized the entire event and she was awarded an honor at her job. Again, it's a run-on if I don't put that comma there because it's 2 complete sentences. All right, pronouns. Who was the winner of the contest? Who? Who did it, right? Who's the main part of the sentence? Who does it? Whom receives it? Who is the answer? Number 2, John escorted Casey and me inside the wedding hall. I don't say just John escorted I say John escorted me. I'm receiving the action, so it's me. Number 3, each of the violinists rosins his or her bow every day before practice. Each is singular, so my pronouns later on, just like my verb rosins is singular. Neither of the ducks is following its mother into the pond. Neither is singular. Again, I cross out of the ducks. I'm looking at neither. Neither is singular. My verb is singular. Singular verbs end in S. The new president of the club is he. Why is it he? Because is a be verb, and what always follows be verb are your nominative cases. That's he, I, she, and they, okay? Number 6, I am shorter than. When you have than or as, you have to mentally add something. So I would mentally add, I am shorter than she is, okay? Whom did you select as your running mate for the marathon? You selected whom, they received it. Who does it? Whom receives it? Some of the papers were missing. Some is either indefinite pronoun. I look at papers. Papers is plural. My verb is plural. Many of the students. Many is plural. So my pronoun has to be plural. Their tickets. Those bite-sized cheesecakes, again, will never have the word them followed by a noun. Okay, those bite-sized cheesecakes are delicious. Yesterday, Tanya took my cousin and him, receiving the action, him to the state fair. None of the pastries, none is either. I look at pastries. Pastries is plural. Taste fresh. Few of the contestants, few is plural. So my verb is plural. No, without an S, because singular verbs end in S. Subject-verb agreement. The difference between twins is often surprising. It's not the twins that are surprising, it's the difference. Difference is my subject. Both the drinks and the dessert, I've got 2 subjects, that's plural, so my verb is plural, were. There is or there are, I gotta look further in the sentence. What's my subject? Songs. Songs is plural, so my verb. There are 3 original songs. Number 4, the subject I want to write about. What's my subject? Well, it's the word subject, way back further. The subject has not been discussed. 3 kinds of film were sold at the shop. What's my verb and what's my subject? Kinds. Remember, of film is a prepositional phrase. Your subject will never be found in a prepositional phrase. Physics, it looks plural, but it's 1 class. Physics is offered twice a year. Physics, mathematics, economics, okay, those are all singular because they're singular in meaning. The choir, choir is a collective noun. Collective nouns take singular verbs. It's 1 unit the choir needs. He is one of the many students who plays, because it's not the students who play basketball well, it's he plays. The style of clothes that my roommates wear is now very popular because my subject is style, 1 subject. The family eats, just like number 7, the family is a collective noun. Family is singular, so my verb is singular. Again, go back through, look at your PowerPoints, look at your handbook if you need more guidance. Complete the grammar boot camp review as well, because while this kind of covers everything that we've talked about and done in class, the grammar boot camp review will be more geared to how the test was created. And so it will look more like the grammar test. I did not create the grammar test, and so I did the review kind of looking at the grammar boot camp test so you would be more aware of how the questions are worded, and I think that will help you. You also have 2 practice quizzes that I've created, so utilize this review sheet, the grammar boot camp review, and the 2 practice quizzes, and I think that you will see that your grade really improves from the first time you took this grammar boot camp test. I hope this helps. Thanks, guys.